The Incredible Hulk has long been considered the strongest there is, but outside of Earth, there are still those who are considered even stronger. Powerful cosmic entities dominate Marvel's landscape, and it stands to reason that plenty would make a meal out of the Avengers' not-so-jolly Jade Giants, given the opportunity. Only that would be the case had Bruce Banner's alter ego not demonstrated time and again that he's very much capable of punching above his weight. In fact, the Hulk is so powerful that he's been known to go toe-to-toe with otherworldly threats, and, on more than one occasion, come out on top. These duels rarely ever feel disingenuous either. In fact, for the most part, the Hulk has earned the right to be called the strongest there is, as it's never a case that he defeats a given foe through some random contrivance. Instead, whether because of his surprising ingenuity or his own increasing strength, Banner's other half always finds a reasonable way of besting an enemy, to the point where it's unlikely readers will ever feel cheated by seeing the Hulk come out on top. And sure, a lot of these victories can be chalked up to the contrasting whims of Marvel's many writers, but there's still a reason why the Hulk's accrued such a fearsome reputation. So, gear up, puny viewers, you and Smash, and here are the 8 most powerful beings Hulk has defeated. Number 8, the Avengers. One of the greatest comics of the last couple of years, and a contender for WhatCulture.com's 10 best comics of the decade, tease tease, wink wink, is Immortal Hulk. And while Al Ewing and Joe Bennett have already iterated the book's credentials with its first issue, things got taken to a whole other level entirely when they decided to get the Avengers involved. The 7th issue of the series sees the Avengers brought in after the Hulk is linked to a number of superpowered confrontations that left many dead or wounded, and they decide to confront him all at once. Captain Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, She-Hulk, Black Panther, Ghost Rider, and Thor all stand against this new Hulk, and as the Odinson concedes after being on the receiving end of a particularly fearsome blow, none are really fit to stop him. Compounding their humiliation further is the fact that Hulk even seems able to stare deep into their own insecurities, laying a thick layer of verbal smack to complement the awful beatings he's already dishing out. Without exerting himself too heavily, Banner's alter ego dispatches Earth's mightiest heroes one after another, until he's finally taken down by a UV bomb that lays waste to a nearby town. This isn't the only time the Hulk has beaten some of the Avengers' strongest members, though. He took on Captain Marvel during Time Runs Out, and used Mjolnir against Thor once before, proving that, of all Earth's heroes, he is by far the mightiest. Number 7, Red Hulk. The Red Hulk is a bit of a weird character. Misconceptions seem to dictate that he's actually more powerful than his green predecessor, but the actual fact of the matter is that they're on somewhat of an even footing. Whereas the Hulk gets stronger the angrier he gets, the Red Hulk gets hotter. Like, literally, he goes on fire, no joke. This brings with it its own advantages, but every creature, green or red, has a breaking point. Thus, when the Red Hulk engages Banner in Hulk number 6, he does so with the erroneous belief that he has the upper hand, due to the fact he gets stronger the more radiation he absorbs, and the Hulk, you guessed it, naturally emits gamma radiation all the time. Coincidentally, everyone around the Hulk may want to go visit their nearest radiologist at their earliest convenience, because yikes, that can't look good for long-term health prospects. Realizing that he simply has to take a beating in order to make the Red Hulk vulnerable enough to smash, Hulk simply waits for the opportune moment to strike and fells his enemy in one blow, proclaiming there to be only one Hulk, and that said Hulk is green. Number 6. Everything in Immortal Hulk. As a horror comic first and foremost, Immortal Hulk showcases a different side to the dichotomy between Banner and his other half, and depicts what may potentially be the scariest version of the character to date. He's huge, unnervingly eloquent, and when he's not showing regular villains their just desserts, he's coming up against some uniquely powerful forces. There's of course the earlier confrontation with the Avengers in the book's 7th issue, but the fun doesn't stop there. Old Jade Jaws himself comes to blows with the likes of Sasquatch, a new and improved Absorbing Man, and of course the familiar visage of the Abomination. All classic Hulk enemies for sure, but they take on a new ferociousness in the series that ups the threat level and then some. For those worried the comic would stop there though, fret not. Recent solicitations have shown that the Hulk will be taking on kaiju-esque monsters in the next couple of months, so expect even greater challenges to come in the future. And potentially a Hulk Godzilla crossover. Oh my god, make it happen. Number 5, the Juggernaut, bitch. No one can stop the Juggernaut. It's a saying that instantly evokes memories of some of Kane Marco's most awful rampages, and of course his famed confrontation with Spider-Man when he tore through New York City for a whole day. It also rings true in a great many ways, as the only way most have been able to stop the Juggernaut has been to lift his psychic-proof helmet so that his cousin, Charles Xavier, can take him out of commission. However, if there was anyone who stood a chance of defeating the Juggernaut without any psychic help, it was always going to be the Hulk. Banner's other half took on Marco at the same time Apocalypse empowered him to become one of his new Horsemen, which of course only enhanced his abilities even further. The transformation took place in the pages of Incredible Hulk number 456, following a confrontation between the Hulk and the X-Men. Apocalypse then takes command of Banner's beastly form and makes him the new War, which leads to a confrontation with Juggernaut that nearly lays waste to half of Cairo. Banner shakes free of Apocalypse's control shortly thereafter, but there's no denying this particular showdown was one for the ages. I mean, just look at Juggernaut's eyes there, the fear in them, dear God. Number 4, Sentry. All sorts of Superman analogues have emerged since the big boy in blue made his debut in Action Comics number 1, but arguably the most famous to come from Marvel is Sentry. Created by Paul Jenkins, Jay Lee, and Rick Veitch, the Sentry was introduced to the Marvel Universe as a sort of lost hero. The idea was that he, like the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, emerged during the 1960s, but was then erased from history. In order to sell the scale of his omission, Sentry was also introduced as a character with a magnificent power set along the lines of Superman's, who, if you didn't know already, is kind of one of the most powerful fictional characters ever created. Anyway, the laws of superhero dynamics dictated that he would eventually come to blows with the Hulk, and they did, during the pages of World War Hulk. Sentry pretty much punts Hulk like an orca playing with a seal, until eventually the Green Giant gives him a word of advice. You see, for all the power the Sentry possessed in his pinky, he was also dealing with the effects of schizophrenia, and was only able to pluck up the courage to fight Banner when Tony Stark convinced him to play God. The Hulk knows that it's not what he really wants though, and so, while withstanding the Sentry's blows, he tells his one-time frenemy that all that matters is what he chooses. So the Sentry does, and transforms into his human form before collapsing in front of Banner. Number 3, Gladiator. Hey, you like that Superman analog? Well, how about another? That's 2 Supermen in one Superman less list, and this one is literally blue. In all seriousness, Gladiator is actually a pretty solid character, and he's a part of one of Cosmic Marvel's most interesting factions, the Shi'ar Empire. Leader of the Empire's Imperial Guard, Gladiator is empowered with all the abilities from the Man of Steel's arsenal and then some, with the alien even capable of shattering entire planets given the right motivation. He's prone to the odd lapse in confidence, but otherwise, you'd struggle to find a stronger figure in the Shi'ar than him. So, how did the Shi'ar's most powerful asset come to fight Earth's most fearsome rage monster? Well, the battle went down in the 1997 Incredible Hulk Annual, which saw Gladiator come to Earth to apprehend a shapeshifter who had supposedly taken the form of Bruce Banner's son. This inevitably leads to a throwdown between the pair, and it doesn't disappoint. Gladiator actually gets the upper hand for a brief while, lifting the Hulk out of Earth's atmosphere to take him out of commission permanently. Hulk replies with a trademark thunderclap, which brings them both hurtling back down to the nuclear reactor the fight started in. The strongest there is then launches Gladiator into the reactor itself, and then proceeds to pummel him until his supposed child snaps him out of it. Number 2, the Galaxy Master. The Marvel Universe is home to all sorts of cosmic entities, and one of the most powerful, if not overlooked, is Galaxy Master. The evil being was created by an equally evil group of aliens eons ago, but killed them in a further display of evil to cement their, well, evilness. Playing to type, they then roam the galaxy destroying planets for fun, giving all the planet eaters of the cosmos a bad name in the process. Oh look, you made Galactus cry, that's just not on. Manifesting as what is essentially an amoeba with teeth, the Galaxy Master crosses paths with the Hulk after taking control of the Sagittarians, another evil group of aliens who fancied their chances helping the Master rather than standing against them. As all great planet eaters tend to do, they end up coming stuck after setting their sights on Earth, where the Hulk is present to follow their scheme. None too pleased, the Sagittarians try to fight the Hulk only to find themselves slapped around for their troubles. The Galaxy Master then shows up for a scrap, and while Hulk loses the first confrontation, he wins the rematch by transporting inside the entity and then pummeling its brain to bits. And number 1, Onslaught. Onslaught emerged shortly after the Fatal Attractions arc, which saw the Professor mentally destroy Magneto after he'd ripped the adamantium clean from Wolverine's body. After some mental hijinks, an alternate personality, dubbed Onslaught, manifests itself and transfers to a robotic vessel. He captures Franklin Richards and decides to transform the Earth's population into one collective consciousness, because evil, obviously. Swatting aside the X-Men, Avengers, and dozens of other Marvel heroes with ease, Jean Grey resorts to repressing Banner's psyche within the Hulk, leaving him to devolve into a savage and unrestrained iteration of the character. The gloves are well and truly off, and this new Hulk tears apart Onslaught's android body with ease, eventually causing an explosion that separates himself and Banner physically. Onslaught turns into a being of pure energy as a direct consequence, forcing the rest of Earth's mightiest heroes into one last gambit to save the day, but there's no denying Hulk was the only one capable of winning the physical contest. And hey, if we're going by 90s logic, the sheer amount of spikes Onslaught has must mean he's stronger than everyone. Get rid of his feet and give him a pouch or two, and Marvel could have had a hit on their hands. Oh god, I can't. They wouldn't have had a hit on their hands, I'm just lying. And that was our list on the most powerful characters ever to get humbled by the Hulk. Do you have any other examples? Let us know in the comments below, but before you do, please be sure to like the video and hit the bell to make sure you never miss another comics video ever again. It really does help us out, and I love you personally for taking the time to do so. Anyway, I've been Ewan. Catch me living out my Hulk-based fantasies on Twitter at EwanRuinsThings, and I'll see you next time. Bye!